Good morning, everyone. Imagine this. The sky's gone black, thunder's rumbling like a freight train, and rain's hammering down so hard you can barely see 2 feet ahead. The wind's screaming in your ears, tugging at your clothes, daring you to give up. You're soaked, shivering, and every muscle in your body is begging you to turn back. That's a storm. Not just the kind that floods your street, but the kind that floods your life. Where it hurts most, we've all faced it. Maybe you're facing it now, a job gone, a dream shattered, a loss that's left you hollow. But today I'm here with a message. You don't just survive the storm, you stand tall in it, you fight it, you rise above it, because you have the power to face tough times and come out not just alive, but unbreakable. Let's dive in. Life doesn't play fair. It doesn't send you a memo saying, heads up, storm's coming, brace yourself. No, it hits you out of nowhere. One day you're cruising along, sun shining, and the next, bam, you're in the deep end, gasping for air. Maybe it's a pink slip after years of loyalty. Maybe it's a doctor's call that flips your world upside down. Maybe it's waking up to a bank account with 2 digits and a stack of bills you can't pay. Those are storms, ugly, messy, and merciless. They don't care if you're ready. They don't care if you're tired. They come anyway. But here's what they don't count on. You're tougher than they are. You've got a fire inside you that no rain can drown, no wind can blow out. And today we're going to stoke that fire until it roars. Let quote us start with a story. Meet Sarah Johnson, a single mom from Detroit. Back in 2008, the recession slammed into her life like a Category 5 hurricane. She'd worked 15 years at a car factory, long shifts, sore hands, pride in every bolt she tightened. Then one Monday, the boss called everyone in. Plant's closing, he said. Just like that, her paycheck was gone. Her savings melted away in months. The bank sent foreclosure notices, and her 2 kids, little Mia and Jaden, kept asking, Mom, are we going to lose the house? Sarah's storm was raging. She could have curled up and let it win. Plenty of folks did. But Sarah, she had heart. One night, staring at an empty fridge, she remembered her grandma's oatmeal cookie recipe, soft, the kind that warmed your soul. She scraped together flour and sugar, baked a dozen in her tiny apartment oven, and started knocking on doors. Rain soaked her shoes. Neighbors smirked, cookies now, but she kept going. One sale became 5 became a tray a day. She'd wake at 4 a.m., bake until her hands ached, deliver on foot with Mia tagging along. 2 years later, Sarah's Sweet Rise Bakery opened its doors. Today, it's a Detroit cornerstone employing 20 people, feeding a community that once doubted her. Against the storm, Sarah didn't just stand. She built a lighthouse for others to find their way. What's your storm? What's the rain pelting you right now? Maybe it's not a recession. Maybe it's a voice in your head saying, you're too old, too late, too broken. Maybe it's a real fight, creditors calling, a kid struggling, a body that won't cooperate. I'm not here to pretend it's easy. Storms sting, they leave bruises, but they don't get to write your ending. You do. And the first step, decide you're not done. Decide that this storm, this moment isn't your breaking point, it's your turning point. Storms don't just test you, they show you who you are. Think about a tree in a gale. The flimsy branches snap, sure, but the roots, they grip harder. The trunk, it sways, but stands. That's you. Every tough time you've survived, and you have survived them all, has rooted you deeper, made you stronger. You're not here by accident. You're here because you've got fight in you, even you don't feel it. Let me prove it. Take James Carter, a kid from Chicago's South Side. His storm started early. Dad split when he was 6, leaving mom to juggle 3 jobs. Waitress, cleaner, cashier, just to pay rent. The streets were a war zone. Gangs banging on doors, gunshots echoing at night. By 16, James was flunking school, fists bloody from fights, one bad choice from a jail cell. Doubt was his storm, howling, this is all you'll ever be. But one day, he stumbled into an old boxing gym. The coach, Mike, a gray-haired ex-fighter with a gravelly voice, sized him up. You're angry, kid, Mike said. Use it. James hit the bag, awkward, sloppy punches. He came back, got knocked flat in his first spar, came back again. The storm kept raging, friends got shot, mom got sick, but James kept swinging. Every jab was a no to the streets. Every hook was a yes to something better. Years later, he won golden gloves, gold gleaming around his neck. Now he's back in that gym, coaching kids like he used to be, showing them the storm doesn't win unless you let it. James stood tall, not because he was fearless, but because he fought through the fear. What quotes your ring? What's the place you can plant your feet when the wind's howling? Maybe it's a guitar you haven't touched in years. Maybe it's a journal where you pour your soul. Maybe it's a friend who says, you've got this when you're sure you don't. Find it, lean into it, because standing tall isn't about dodging the storm, it's about facing it. Head-on. Let quotes talk about facing it. Sometimes the storm's so loud, so heavy, you can't see the other side. That's when it's toughest. That's when you're on your knees thinking, I can't do this. I've been there. You've been there. But here's the trick. You don't have to beat the whole storm today. Just stand up today. Just take one step today. Let me show you what I mean. Emily Davis was a nurse in New Orleans when Hurricane Katrina roared in August 2005. She was 28, fresh out of nursing school, working the ER. Then the levees broke, water flooded the hospital ankle deep, then waist deep. Lights flickered out, patients screamed, monitors flatlined, and Emily was there, soaked and shaking, moving beds, stitching wounds by flashlight. She hadn't slept in 72 hours when doctors said, we're losing them. Her own house, gone, washed away with her photos, her clothes, her life. She could have broken, anyone would have, but Emily kept going. One patient, she told herself, just save one more. She waded through filth, held hands, whispered, you're okay, even when she wasn't. After the storm, they found her sitting on a cot, head in her hands, crying, but alive, and so were dozens she'd saved. Years later, a man tracked her down. You pulled me out of that water, he said. I'm here because of you. Emily's tall, one life, one moment at a time. What quotes your one more? When the storm's at its worst, what's the next thing you can do? Not the whole war, just the next battle. Call someone, write one line, get out of bed and breathe. That's enough, that's everything. Because every step you take against the storm carves a piece of steel into your spine. Now, a new face. Meet Rachel Miller, a teacher from Seattle. In 2020, the pandemic hit her like a tsunami. Schools shut down, her husband lost his job, and their savings vanished. Rachel was teaching online, juggling Zoom with 2 kids, climbing the walls, when she got the call. Cancer, breast cancer, stage 2. The storm was double-barreled, fear outside, fear inside. Chemo started, hair fell out, and she'd sit in the dark, wondering why me? But Rachel had a secret weapon. Her students, she kept teaching, bald head wrapped in a scarf, voice steady. If I quit, she said. They quit. She graded papers between treatments, wrote encouragement notes, hundreds of them. Her kids rallied, her husband found work, and last year, Rachel rang the bell, cancer-free. She stood tall, not for herself alone, but for everyone watching. Storms pass. That's the promise. The rain stops, the wind dies, the sun breaks through. But what you build in the tough times, that's forever. Sarah's bakery, James's gloves, Emily's lives, Rachel's lessons. Those are towers of strength. You're building yours, brick by brick, even when you don't see it. Every no you say to giving up, every yes you say to fighting on, that's your monument. So here's my challenge. Stand up. Right now, in your heart, stand up. Feel the storm, let it rage, then look it in the eye and say, I'm still here. You're tougher than the darkest nights. You're taller than the wildest waves. You're the storm's worst nightmare because you don't just endure. You rise against the storm. You stand tall and nothing can stop you. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Fearless Motivation.